Hello, YouTube. It's Alan. I thought I would give you a little update because I finally actually had an annual exam, a OB-GYN appointment, which I had told you all about the saga of me trying to find somebody to make an appointment with. So I've got to update you because perhaps you're wondering. So, I did go to the place in the Bay Area, actually, San Francisco Bay Area, that was multiple hours away from where I live now. And my brother lives like about 40 minutes away from this doctor, so I stayed at my brother's last night, which was fun. So this morning I got up, got ready, and then drove to the doctor's, and I was trying not to think about it too much beforehand, so that kind of prevented me to some extent from getting super nervous. But when I arrived there, I was pretty nervous. Like, I kind of paused before I walked in the door, because it was a building with several little, like, suites that had different groups of doctors, and so this suite had several doctors that were all OBGYN. So I kind of paused and felt nervous before walking in the door, and then um, I walked in and I said to the receptionist that I had an appointment, and she asked for my name. And I think for a second she might have kind of looked at me like, hmm? But she didn't ask anything, and she was perfectly nice. And so she just gave me the paper to fill out, and that was pretty much it. And then I waited for a while, and I didn't really feel that uncomfortable in the waiting room because, there were other men there that were with women. Granted, they did go into the room with the women, so they weren't just sitting out there by themselves, but I didn't worry about it. I assumed that everybody would think I was waiting for somebody, so that was fine. And then the nurse called me back, and it seemed like she must have known my situation because she called my first name and didn't have any unusual look on her face or anything. And she was perfectly nice. And then, somebody's coming to the car right next to me. I'll have to talk more quietly right now. So I went into the room, and she like took my blood pressure and stuff like that, and updated some stuff on the computer, um and then she left. She was like, okay, so get undressed. And so i I did, just like, good old days when I had these kinds of appointments before. Sorry to move the camera. um I'm like looking down at you. um anyway, yeah, so I did that, and I was feeling nervous, but this is the doctor that specifically likes to help LGBT patients, so I wasn't having a heart attack or anything like that. And so then she came in, and she was very nice. I mean, she knew that I was trans, and then from some things she said or questions she asked me a couple minutes later, it was clear that she had looked at my records before she came into the room, which most doctors do, I guess. And so this medical practice, it's like a huge thing with like multiple buildings in multiple towns. So the doctors that I went to when I used to live in the Bay Area were part of this giant group. So she has access on the computer to like the doctor's notes from when I went to doctors before, including the doctor who originally prescribed me testosterone before I moved away. So she was like up on everything, this doctor that I saw today. So that made things go more smoothly. So actually, I guess that's one plus of traveling a distance to go to her. And so basically the appointment was fine. It was just regular, the usual. I mean, uncomfortable, but it was all right because I knew that she was totally accepting of me. Um, so it went smoothly, thankfully, so it's fine. Um, and, oh yeah, so before she examined me, I asked her if she had worked with trans men before, and it sounds like she's worked with a handful. So, at least I wasn't the first trans man that she had examined. I was really happy about that. So I didn't have to say anything about like, so are you familiar with the changes that testosterone creates? So I was really glad that I didn't have to talk about that. And so another benefit of her being familiar with the trans situation and having seen trans men before is that without me saying anything, she so this is sort of a physical related detail here. Okay, so she got like a narrower speculum because testosterone makes things a little more atrophied and uncomfortable for things like speculum. So she already knew that she should get a smaller one, which was very nice of her. So if I went to a doctor in the town where I currently live, somebody who may not have worked with trans men patients before, they might not have known that. They may not have done that. And I didn't really know that or think about that before, that you could have like a different speculum. So I feel really good about my decision to come up here to make the trip to go to somebody who has seen at least a few trans men before. So I'm glad it went well. She was really nice. And I did ask her some questions about hysterectomy surgery. I mean, she is an OBGYN, so she's done a bunch of those before. She's kind of young, so she's not as experienced as an older person, but she's done a lot of them, so I might look into eventually getting a hysterectomy with her. And then there's also this other OBGYN in the San Francisco Bay Area who I attended a talk that she did at a gender conference last year, and she had a lot of details to say about that whole surgery, so I might consider her or the doctor I saw today, I don't know, but at least I have some connection now with the one that I saw today, so it's a good starting point. I know that she would help me effectively with other things in the future, so, oh my god, such a huge relief. That's been on my mind for like 2 years, probably, since it's 3 years since I had my last exam, so I don't have to think about it for a while. As long as the PAP results are normal, I don't see why they wouldn't be, but... So, the moral of the story is, you guys should go get checked out, go through whatever efforts you have to do to find somebody who can help you properly. Don't put it off and end up with a health problem. It's possible to have a perfectly fine experience if you go through some legwork and track down somebody good. Even if you have to travel a little bit. Anyway, well, thank you for watching. Thanks for your support, everybody. See you later. Bye.